Alright, for today, Wednesday, April 8th, we are going to be reading the interactive read aloud, Papa, Please Get the Moon for Me. So, since this is day 17, we are adding a couple of new vocabulary words: near, disappeared, silver, and reappear. So those are going to be added to our vocabulary words, and those are going to be some of the words that they need to use in their task writing today. The full list is on our class dojo. So, Papa, Please Get the Moon for Me by Eric Carle. Before Monica went to bed, she looked out her window and saw the moon. The moon looked so near. I wish I could play with the moon, thought Monica, and reached for it. So what will happen when Monica tries to reach for the moon? But no matter how much she stretched, she could not touch the moon. Papa, said Monica to her father, please get the moon for me. Papa got a very long ladder. He carried the very long ladder toward the very high mountain. So let's make a prediction. What is Papa gonna do? And why do you think he's gonna do that? Then Papa put a very long ladder on top of the very high mountain. Up and up and up he climbed. Finally, Papa got to the moon. My daughter Monica would like to play with you, said Papa, but you are much too big. Every night I get a little smaller, said the moon. When I am just the right size, you can take me with you. So why didn't Papa take the moon with him? How do we know that he didn't take it with him? Let's stop and think about what has happened so far. Retell the story to someone in your family. Then talk about which details from the story are realistic and which ones are fiction or made up. And indeed, the moon got smaller and smaller and smaller. When the moon was just the right size, Papa took it. And down and down and down he climbed. Here, said Papa to Monica, I have the moon for you. Monica jumped and danced with the moon. She hugged the moon and threw it into the air. But the moon kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And finally, it disappeared. What does the word disappeared mean? And how do we know? Then one night, Monica saw a thin silver sliver of the moon reappear. So what does the word reappear mean? And how do we know? Each night, the moon grew. And grew and grew. So let's summarize this story. Retell the story to your partner or someone in your family. And after you retell the story, talk about which details are real and which are fictional or made up. So we said in our summaries that the moon, hopefully you said in your summaries anyway, that the moon has changed its shape. So it was big and round, and then it got smaller and smaller, and then it reappeared and got bigger and bigger until it was a full moon again. So it was changing shape. How have you noticed the moon change shape in real life? Let's make a prediction. Why do you think the moon changes shape in real life? And what information from the moon book could help us make our predictions? So after reading the story, you are going to have a task that you need to complete. And another anchor chart that we would have made in class together as we read would have been a chart like this, where we split up details about the moon that are true and facts that we can prove, and then details about the moon that are fictional or made up. So just based on Papa, please get the moon for me, some of the true facts we learned, we know that you can't really touch the moon from your house or climbing a ladder. You can see a face in the moon due to the craters and valleys, and the moon is in the sky. But some of the things that we read in this story that are made up would be like Papa climbing the ladder to the moon, or the moon talking to Papa. And we can't actually take it out of the sky and play with the moon. So hold on to this anchor chart, create one of your own at home, because we're going to read another story in a few days, and we're going to add to the true and fictional parts of that story as well. So we're going to add to this anchor chart. But for your task, this is going to be task number 17, and it says, what happened to the moon in Papa, please get the moon for me? Why do you think that happened? Use what you learned about the moon in the moon book to inform your prediction. So you should have a introduction. You should explain at least 3 events that occurred in the story, at least 1 prediction about the cause of the moon changing shape, and provide a sense of closure. So an example of what that might sound like in a first grade response would be, in the book, Papa, get the moon for me, the moon changed shape. The moon was big when Papa first talked to it. The moon said that every night it gets a little smaller. When it was smaller, Papa got it. Monica played with the moon, but it kept getting smaller and then disappeared. But then Monica saw it in the sky again, and it got bigger and bigger. I think the moon gets bigger and smaller because it moves. Maybe when it moves slowly, it looks bigger, and when it moves fast, it looks smaller. So use this to help guide your completion of the task, and if you all have any questions, let me know, but this will be posted on Class Dojo.